The world is not perfect. Personalized cocoon, a self-woven isolation, and the interior is plush, a perfect mold of the self, the ultimate comfort, the final trap, soundproofed against the outside, but the inside is just an echo of your own voice. The theory of everything. It's not a physics equation. It's the single sickening frequency that connects a pop song, a political slogan, and the feeling of your own heartbeat. Once you hear it, you can't stop hearing it in everything. My mind locked up in Arrested Development. The Psyche as a cancel sitcom, reruns of juvenile triumphs and traumas playing on a continuous loop. The laugh track is the only thing that has aged. You are both the star and the audience of a show that never evolved. The baby brain, easily molded by the system. The skull is soft, the world is a pair of hands. They press, they shape, they leave fingerprints in the wet cement of your consciousness. By the time it hardens, you think the shape was your own idea. Man-made laboratory, false medicines. The pharmacy is a theme park. The pills are brightly colored candy that promises to fix a loneliness it manufactured. The side effects include a craving for more of the same poison. The world is not perfect. A banal headline, a devastating reality. The flaw is not a bug, it is the core feature. The system is built on a crack, and we are all leaning to one side to avoid falling in. Feelings of resentment, an internal fermentation, a sweet memory left in a jar too long, now fizzy and sour. You keep it hidden on a shelf, but you open it sometimes just to smell how badly it has turned. Lilith needed saving. From whom? From the story they wrote for her. Salvation is not a night, but a rewrite. A chance to be the monster they always said she was, but on her own terms. Reabsorbing. The attempt to pull your spilled self back into your skin, a messy, inefficient process. You always end up taking in pieces of the floor, the dirt, the other people who walk through your mess. Too much energy to bear, a body with its own weather system, a constant low-grade lightning in the veins. It has no outlet, so it turns inward, cooking the organs, making the skin feel too tight. The DIY, do-it-yourself, life. Building a personality from a kit. The instructions are in a language you don't understand. All the pieces are there, but they never seem to fit together quite right. You are left with a wobbling, unstable thing, held together by desperation and tape. Love, death, and robots, the three channels of modern existence. Flipping between them at random, a romantic moment is undercut by mechanical failure. A fatal error is accompanied by a synthetic sigh. The emotional landscape is automated. Polarize. To be split into your most extreme components, no more subtle shades. You are either pure black or blinding white, a high-contrast version of a self that was once full of color. Glowing eyes, not from passion or rage, the cold screen-lit glow of someone who has seen too much and not felt enough. The pupils are pixels, the soul is backlit. Not today. The daily mantra against the encroaching void, a fragile spell cast over a morning coffee. The defiance is real, but it's thin, and you can feel the pressure of tomorrow already pushing against it. Poutine, a perfect metaphor, a dish that should not work, chaos and order, hot and cold, crisp and soggy, all in one container, a beautiful, disgusting, honest mess, the national dish of a fractured psyche. Sorry for party rocking in the year 3000, apathetic nostalgia for a future that hasn't happened. The party is over, but the noise complaint is eternal. We are all still shaking, decades later, to a beat that was never really that good. Drinking in LA as a couch surfer, the ultimate dislocation, a borrowed life in a city of facades. The alcohol is to blur the edges of a reality that was already warped. You are a ghost at someone else's party, sipping from a cup that isn't yours. Wet soul, a soul that never dried properly, clammy, heavy, susceptible to the mildew of regret. It leaves a damp spot on every chair you sit in, a watermark on your life. To never be spiritually sick again. The impossible dream, a state of grace imagined as a sterile white room. No germs of doubt, no viruses of desire, a clean, empty, and terribly boring heaven. The reincarnation theory. We keep coming back until we get the lesson right. The problem is the curriculum keeps changing, and the teachers are just as lost as we are. The all males are homosexual theory. A theory of latent social desire, not necessarily sexual, but a deep unacknowledged yearning for the approval and intimacy of the masculine. The whole world is a locker room with unspoken rules. The all females are homosexual theory. The mirror theory, a proposal that female social energy is inherently introverted, a closed loop of understanding and empathy that the masculine world can only observe from the outside. The bisexual theory, the understanding that attraction is a dial, not a switch, that the heart is capable of receiving multiple signals, often at the same time, creating a beautiful, confusing interference pattern. The pansexual theory, the rejection of the receiver itself, attraction as a force of nature that pays no mind to the vessel it flows toward. It is about the song, not the radio. The transgender theory, the ultimate edit, the profound understanding that the body is a document and the soul holds the red pen, a correction made to the most fundamental text of the self. What happens in Fantasyland stays in Fantasyland. A lie we tell ourselves. The souvenirs from Fantasyland are heavy. You bring back the dust, the habits, the longing. It stains your clothes and alters your speech. Fantasyland is a country that never issues an exit visa. Living a soap opera life, where every emotion is a close-up, every problem is a cliffhanger, and the background music swells to tell you how to feel. The plot is ridiculous, but you're committed to the character. If left unattended, the quiet terror of potential, what the mind will build in the absence of supervision, a garden of beautiful weeds, a monument to its own neglect. One day at a time, a survival strategy that feels like a sentence, parole from the future. You are not allowed to think about next week, only the crushing minutiae of the present 24 hours. It stopped at level 7. Personal growth as a video game. You grinded for years, leveled up through pain and boredom, and then the game just froze. No final boss, no credits, just an unresponsive screen and the memory of the struggle. With a sledgehammer. The preferred tool for subtle problems. When a fine adjustment is needed, you bring the weight of everything. The problem is solved, but now there is a much larger, dustier problem in its place. Hey, are you okay? A social script, the expected performance of concern. The answer is always a variation of yes, even when the interior is a 4-alarm fire. The question is not a searchlight, it is a courtesy flash of the high beams. To be a diphenhydramine addict. The pursuit of nothingness, not a high but a low, a chemical trench to crawl into. You are not running toward pleasure but away from the unending noise of being awake.